Hi, everybody. Welcome, new people. The last I looked, I'm up to 90 subscribers. So I know I've had some new people within the last week and a half, even two. So welcome, and welcome back to those who have been here before. Um, Sorry I haven't been on in the last 2 weeks. Things have been pretty hectic around here. Um, think when I was on, we had just gotten our cat back and we had to take care of him and give him his meds 24/7, which was extremely hard to do. He just wasn't having it like most cats are. They don't like to get their meds. So yeah, that was kind of rough. Although I did make a paste like out of tuna and some cornmeal, and which I had used for to make homemade cat treats, so I knew that it was okay for him. So I did that and I put it around the pills, and he seemed to take it a lot easier. Thank goodness. um, but I've also been working on the orders that I have for Christmas to get done. My daughter's been sick. Um, just a lot going on here. Stuff with my husband's work. Um, Things are going to be changing here within this next couple months, and we don't know exactly what the future is going to hold. So, yeah, I'm a bit worried, but it'll be okay. I'm sure it'll be okay. I don't have much to show you. I really came on without not a lot to talk about because what I have finished was an order, and it was sent out in the mail today. If I think about it, I will add a picture in here so that you can see them. It's two black infinity scarves, but I'm pretty sure I showed the infinity scarf the last time. I can't remember if I was done with the first one or if I was almost done with it. And then I'm working on, I got one hat done for my second order. I just started the dog sweater last night, and then I got a new, where did I put that? I got a new hook today. I belong to a group where we send out blessings to each other, mostly pain patients, but there are other people on it. If you're ever interested in joining, let me know. I am an admin on this group, and I won a game, and I won a blessing, and I got a new hook, and I put that said hook down, and now I don't know exactly. My hand just hit it. It was on the couch. It's a good thing I found it. I got one of the Susan Bates. They send you things off of your wish list from Amazon. This is a Susan Bates, size F, the 3.75 millimeter. Her ergonomic hooks. Now, it says soft handle, and a lot of people are, when they get these, they say, "Oh, this is hard. It's not soft." I almost didn't try them because I thought it's going to be just like almost working with the metal regular Susan Bates hook, which is my favorite regular metal hook, but I'm used to using ergonomic hooks now, especially my furls hooks and things. But I like to get ones that don't cost so much to use when I'm in the car. I have lost, I don't know, last year I think I lost like 2 hooks in the car. I am more cognizant of them, and that was the regular hooks. I can't seem to hold on to the regular metal ones as easy as I can, the ones with the bigger handles. So when we hit a bump a couple different times, I lost a hook. So so yeah, this is a size F, and the hats that I'm making need an F and a G. You make the brim with the F, and then the rest of the hat with the G. So I was using bamboo hooks on the first one, and my gauge wasn't spot on, but it was within a couple stitches, so I figured it would be okay. And the hat ended up being bigger than I expected. Now the band, the original band, which was where the gauge was off, it came out perfect. But once I went up in the hook size like it told you to, and that gauge was spot on. Once I went up, I don't know if it's because the yarn was a little bit thicker than the original yarn used. The original yarn was a DK weight, but from what I understand, the brand of yarn that this is, their DK is usually closer to a size 2 or fingering. So, and I have a true DK weight that I'm using. So I'm thinking that the heaviness of the yarn maybe stretched the band out some. So I was supposed to make a medium and a large adult hat for the sizes that they need. And the medium was the first one that I made, and it ended up being the size of an adult, of the large adult hat. So I did not make the larger size than that. I'm either going to make that same size and make sure my gauge is right, try to get it spot on, or I'm going to make the smaller size. I think I'm going to do the smaller size. So, but yeah, it's a big slouchy hat anyway, so they're big and loose, but I still think the band should grip is the word I'm thinking of. Should fit around your head a little bit better than the slouchy part. So yeah, it's gorgeous though. Oh, the hat is so gorgeous. And I wasn't going to show it, but you know what? Now that I keep talking about it, let me be right back. It's in the back room. So I'm going to pause it, but by the time I get back, you're not really going to know you were paused very long. Okay, I am back. And here it is. It is so, so gorgeous. I got it from one of the holiday hops that I'm on this month. It's just so, so gorgeous. So it's not one that's made to go like this on your head. It's one that is made to lay back and be slouchy. But this band went from being perfect to looking like it's stretched out some. So I talked to the woman I'm making it for, who used to be one of my daughter's best friends, and I miss her because she was like a daughter to me in high school. And I told her I could either take a couple rows out of the band, and then I wasn't quite sure how I would do it, but I could figure out a way to take a couple rows out and then sew it back up. But my husband tried it on. He's got a big head, about the same size as her fiance. And he put it on this way first, and it went down over his eyes. He put it on the right way after that, and it looked so cool. But you could tell that this wasn't, like holding on to the head. But I asked him, I said, okay, if you walk, if you do things, is it going to fall right off? He said, no, it didn't feel like it would. So, but the worrier in me that I am, and the fact that I want to make everything right and perfect for a client, I told her, I said, I could put a drawstring in it, like how we cinch up the top. That was by sewing around with yarn and then cinching it up. I said I could do that in the hat band, and then he could cinch it to make it closer, and it's up enough that it's hidden in there. And I said, and if you end up not needing it, if you don't like it, you can just pull it out, and you'll never know that it was there. So that's what she ended up wanting me to do. So here on the inside, so I tied it in a bow, and then I put the bows up underneath so that it wouldn't fall out. So if her fiance feels the need to, he can cinch this up a little bit. Nobody's ever going to know the difference. And he can have it as tight or as loose as he wants it. And it will be his perfect little hat. And if they feel that they don't want it in there, they can just take it out. I think there was only 2 spots where, the needle came through, but you can't even tell that I put the string in there. I tried to be very, very, very cautious of the fact and not let the needle be seen on the other side so that it's all on the inside. But this is just it's so soft. This is made out of, I showed this before, City Tweed DK weight that I got from We Crochet, and it is just so, so soft. I did fine with the DK weight crocheting with it. When I get yarns that are so, so soft, sometimes I have a really hard time touching them. It's like they take all the moisture out of my body. I don't know if it's some kind of allergy or something. I've had allergies tested. It never said I was allergic to wool or anything like that. But yeah, anytime, ever since I was little, velour, fleece, anything soft like that, I feel like all the moisture is coming out of my hands. So I have a really hard time working with it. And I got to put on lotion, and then I don't want to put on so much lotion that it affects the yarn. So, so yeah, I did fine working with that. But then one yarn I did want to show you, I told you that I would show you when it came in because I had accidentally ordered the wrong yarn for the dog coat. It's supposed to be the same colors as the snowshoe, and the dark green is called Toad, and it's the worsted weight one. I had accidentally got Snowflake, which was the white, instead of Snowshoe. I'm like, you guys really need to only have one of them with the word snow in there so other people don't make this mistake. So here is the worsted in the Snowshoe. And let me show you against what the worsted green looks like. I have one of those in here before, but I will show it again. I'll show you the contrast. This is the Snow Bank is what this one is called. So this is the Snow Bank, and then this is the Snowshoe. I knew it was just dark enough difference that I could not get away with using this. She wants them all to match, and that would not have matched. Put them all in my project bag. Let me see. Reach. Oh. Of course, I pull out the color that I already have. There we go. Here's the Toad. So those two together. And those are the medium weight, or the Aran weights, which are just, Aran is a little bit thicker than a normal medium, and it turns out, if I remember right, that that's really what this dog sweater called for, so I left out there as well. Now this is thick enough that even just touching it like this, I can feel the moisture starting to go from my hands. So it's going to be interesting working on this dog sweater. I was going to make the other hat first, but decided to start on the dog sweater first, and I'm glad that I did, because since I'm having that issue, I'll be able to put it down and then pick up the hat and work on it for a little while. But so far, here is the start of the collar part of the dog sweater. He has a pretty big neck. He has a 22-inch neck. He's a big dog. But his other measurements on the pattern that I'm using, which I have in here, I don't know if I have the name because I don't always print off the whole entire pattern when I'm working with a pattern, because My computer has a way to take the ads off of the page and then print it. And so I do that, and then I just find where the directions are. And it's actually supposed to be some kind of program so that I'm assuming if you're blind or if you're hard of reading and if you want the page read to you, they can read it to you, and that way they don't read the ads to you as well. So it takes the ads off, and that's what I do, and then I print it out. So I take the ads off. Not seeing. Sure. The pattern is by Heart Hook Home. But I do not have the name of the sweater on here, fortunately. But what I did is I left in the comment section below the pattern, I told her what the sizes are that I needed, and she wrote up for me a modification. I was going to try and modify it myself. I asked her if she could just tell me what the stitch count is, like if it's for the stitch that's being used on the collar, is it, 6+1 on the chains or with foundations, or, just each one counts, or, how it went. Trying to find if I have a picture of the sweater all done, show it to you. Closest one that I have on here is the lower one right there. It's really pretty. It's a pretty sweater. And anyway, she told me all the modifications to make. She told me to up the hook size for the collar, since that's the part that I needed the biggest, and out of all the sizes that she gave, he didn't fit in the chart at all. But his chest fit the chart of just the large size, and then his neck was off the chart. So she told me exactly what to do, to start with a larger hook. Then she told me how to do the decreases when I first start into the body, and where to stop with the decreases, and then what size to do when I start the chest plate and that. So yeah. And if you happen to see any little bits of flour on me, I was baking before I came on here to do this. We're going to my aunt and uncle's for Thanksgiving tomorrow, and I am making a cranberry orange quick bread. So it smells so amazing. But that was in here bothering me. She wanted my full attention. So when I went back to get the hat, I got her treats for the night, and I gave the other baby his treats. I'm kind of worried about him. So is my husband. We took them in, both of them, Monday um, to the vet. It was his first checkup since he's been home from his emergency situation. And he has been sleeping so much since we got home. Now, the vet, my cat's overweight, and we have been trying to figure out how to feed her exactly to get her to start losing weight. And the vet said the best thing that you can do is to figure out how much food she needs in a full day, put it in her dish in the morning, put the dish down for her for about 5 minutes, and to do this with both cats. He said you should do this with every cat that you have. Feed them twice a day. Put what you need in it the first time, put it down, and then they'll eat what they want, put it back up, and then when you put it down the second time, they'll finish it. So, or you can cut it in half. Give them half the first time, half the second time if they tend to eat it all. He doesn't like it. Halford doesn't like that method, but he's just not hungry today. My husband was starting to get concerned that he might be getting sick again. So I looked up side effects for the rabies vaccine, because they both got their rabies vaccine on Monday. And I'm thinking that it's just from that, because it said that they can be lethargic and lose their appetite for up to 2 days. Well, today's 2 days, so we'll see how he's doing tomorrow. I would hate to have to take him back into the emergency vet because he was so scared when we took him in Monday. And when he realized we were coming home, he was so happy that we weren't leaving him behind. So, hoping he doesn't have to go back in, but I'm also hoping that it is something worse, that we catch it in time. But I'm thinking that's just what it is. He's got FIV anyway, so he has a lower immune system. And I know with myself, not the HIV and FIV and cats are the same difference, but when I get a vaccine, it knocks me out, and I can be out for a day, day and a half. Pretty much the same thing, that my immune system is, bringing it in and letting it do its job, and it just puts me out. So I'm hoping that's what's going on with him and that he will be back tomorrow. The only thing is he's not eating and drinking as much, and he needs to drink as much as possible so he doesn't have the crystals come back. So, and we did just order today the food that he's going to need. We didn't find that out until Monday, what kind, and we probably should have gotten a 4-pound bag there while we could, but the cheapest way to go is to get the bigger bag, and we had to order that online. So that's what we did. But that's the update on the kitties. Back to the yarn. I never told you what this was made of and everything. It's a size 4, like I said. It is 55% merino wool, 25% superfine alpaca, and 20% Donegal tweed. Hand wash, dry flat. And I did have blocked the hat already. And that's one thing. It smells so good. I have soap, sandalwood soap for yarn. I'm not a huge sandalwood person, but it smells really good on the hat. Now this has little, not regular big bubbles, but smaller bubbles that are just for like texture. And I'm trying to get those to pop back out like they were before, because some of them look like they're completely flattened. So I'm going to try and work on that a little bit more before it gets sent off. Maybe when I'm blocking the other one, I'll take time on this one some more. But I did get a couple more things of yarn when I ordered the ones that I had messed up so that I could get the free shipping. I was like $6 away from free shipping. And when you're paying $7 and something for shipping and you're only $6 away from getting free shipping, my mind says, okay, I'm going to get $6 more in yarn. I want to pay for yarn and not for shipping. That's exactly what I did. And I got a couple of the Ditchy Twists. I'm going to use these for Christmas presents, probably for my best friend. I'm not positive because I also got another one to use for her. I know she likes purple, but I have another friend who likes purple too, so it's not going to go to waste at all. It was on sale. It's 100% cotton, machine wash cold, tumble dry low. Takes a number 7 to 8 knitting needles, a size K hook. It's kind of big. And I got, this is eggplant. I think I have 2 eggplant, and these are mulberry. And the tweed is also 100%. Another eggplant in here. Right there. Those will be once my orders are done and I have time to work on my personal family presents. Now, I need to get my family done first. It will go my family and then my friends, because my friends know that they may not get the presents until after Christmas, and that's fine. all I really have to give for Christmas this year are gifts, so I have to get them done. The other thing I've been doing, it's so exciting. I think I mentioned this also in my last video, is I have been working on a pattern, tech editing it. Um, I tech edited the first pattern ever for OMG Granny Square, and that was fun working with her. And then I am working on this very intricate pattern with a pretty, I think, pretty well-known designer. I'm not going to say her name because I haven't been given permission, but this pattern, I have spent hours, I would say over 2 days worth of hours already. So 48 hours working on this, trying to make sure that the numbers and everything are right. But it's not like they're grueling or anything. It's like I get in and I start doing the math and I'm like, oh, okay, and let's figure out, so for all the sizes will work and this and that. And I found, some issues, and it's interesting to both her and myself. She has people testing the pattern, and they haven't complained to her. They haven't told her that anything is wrong with the pattern. They haven't told her that their counts are different than they turned out that she said they should be at the end of the row, which is the whole reason that you have people testing your pattern. None of them have been telling her. I think they gave her some edits, but none of them said that any of the counts were off, and I found quite a few of them that were off. And she went back and she checked them, and she's like, "Oh goodness, you're right." She was like, "I just don't understand. Nobody else, said anything." Um, so yeah, it's been fun. She told me that she loves my eye for detail. So right now, I am trading tech services for testimonial. But I'm not going to be doing that for too much longer. I know that I have another designer who's going to be giving me a pattern as soon as she's done with it. She's the original person who set me on the path to tech editing, and that was our agreement, that I would edit a pattern for a testimonial. I was thinking that the niche that I wanted to do would be with new designers, which I still like and is still fun. But with the experience, I have worked with a couple of brand new designers, and the main issue that I have found working with new designers is I don't know. It all depends on if they look at it as a hobby or if they look at it as a job. And I never ask them that. So some want to take your advice, some don't. Some take most of it or not all of it. And that's how it is with all designers, because it's their style. It is written how they want it to be written. And even though we tell them to look at the Craft Yarn Council, and that there has been a big shift in the last few years for patterns to be written more in the same way, and that way people who have learned how to read patterns can go from one to the other and make you know the patterns no problem, compared to how they were when I was younger. When I was younger, they didn't teach us how to read the pattern at first when we were learning how to crochet, like in 4-H, because it was so confusing. And because you could get one pattern that would tell you one way to do things, and then you would get another pattern that would tell you completely the other. So when I first learned how to crochet, my teacher, she may have had a pattern she was going off of, but she would tell me what to do and then I would come back and have it done. I'd write it down on a piece of paper. I need to do this, this, and this for the next row or the next 2 rows. And then I would come back and show her what I had done. But I was never given the pattern to follow. I never followed a pattern until I got my first kit because my cousin was having a baby and I wanted to make a baby Afghan for her. And I struggled really, really hard with that pattern. So, and my teacher was like, well, I was going to teach you how to read patterns, next year. That's part of, I think it would have been my third year in crochet. And because the first year we made booties, the second year we made a scarf. And I think my third year is when I made my Lapgan that I won township for. And it was a real simple, just like 2-row repeat. But it took me years. My husband says, this is the Afghan that took you 20 some years to make. So, and my baby Afghans lately have been taking me quite a while, only because I've started all of them that I have as whips. I started when I was sick, and I was just too sick to pick them up and work on them. So then they're sitting there, and you get this kind of mentality where when you're sick and working on it, it seems like it's really, really hard. And so then when you go to pick it up, you think, oh, that was so hard. I don't want to pick it up. I did that with a baby blanket I was making for my best friend when him and his partner, when their son was born, they had gone through a surrogate, and it was his partner's biological son, and then he adopted him, and he's just the sweetest. I mean, he's their son, both of their. I mean, even though there may not be um, biological data from both of them in him, um, he is both of their son, and my daughter's adopted, and she's my husband's and my daughter. So it seems when they grow with you in your environment, they take on your traits. And my daughter's baby picture, if you put it up next to my baby picture, you would think that she came from the same family. So, yeah, even though we didn't, plan it that way, we were pretty well perfectly matched. Um, but anyway, I was making a baby blanket for him. I was so excited, and I wanted to get this baby blanket done, and I was in the hospital. Now, the thing about the hospital is I blow my IVs left and right. So if I had an IV in, I couldn't crochet. But if I was in for a while, like I was at this point, I had a port. And so it's not called a port. It's not a permanent port anyway. It was, I don't think that's the right word for it. But anyway, it's like a port. Um, and a central line, that's what it was. I had a central line. With the central line, I could crochet. But I was in so much pain, and I was on so many meds, and my head was flying, essentially. I started it at least 2 or 3 times. And then I finally got going on it, and then I was just like, this is too difficult. I am just not getting this. This is way too difficult. And I let it sit there and sit there. And I didn't pick it up until his son was 3 again. I picked it up. I started working on it, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is so easy. How in the world did I ever think it was hard? And I flew through it, and I had it done within a month. So, yeah, it's strange because you can start reading a pattern, and depending on where your mind's at, you can think it's the hardest thing in the world and you don't want to work on it. At the same time, I started an Afghan for my mom, and I have not touched it since. Um, Probably about that high. It's a Afghan from Kirchner's. I just fell in love with the pattern. They have the same pattern in, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 different colors. It's one that well, 4, because they have it for each different season. And I think the one that I picked was fall, maybe, or spring. I can't remember exactly, but it's my mom's colors, her favorite colors, and it's made with smaller weight yarn, um, more of a baby sized yarn, but it has these gorgeous lace sections, and I just was like, I'm not getting this. But I bet you now if I go back to it, I'll be able to pick it up. And that's one of my want to get done's for this next year. Now, the last baby blanket that I was asked to do, um, I was asked right before Christmas last year, and I was in the middle of doing Christmas stuff. So I got it started, and it's the one that I've been showing you guys, but I have not been able to finish it because I have just been so busy. So that's another must finish as soon as Christmas is over. But I know I'm also going to be getting another order to do, like after Christmas is done. I got an order from my nephew who passed away a couple years ago from his wife. And I feel bad because I never got it done, but she's never come back and said, talked to me and asked anything. I haven't heard from her in a while. I used to message her and say, "Oh, it's, I'll get on it, when this is done or that's done," because I had so many things ahead of it, and I still have so many things ahead of it. So I need to get my whips done, is what I'm concluding. That I need to get them done so that I don't feel so bad when I am working on all this new stuff. Some of them don't make me feel bad, but the fact that I have baby blankets that need to get finished and the babies are now like 4 and 5, yeah, that's making me feel a little bad. So I need to get those done. And then my goddaughter, she would like a cover for the car seat for her son because she has one made out of regular cloth, but it doesn't like go up over the handle like the crocheted ones do. And I'm like, yeah, and we picked out the yarn and everything that I'm going to make it in. I just haven't had time. I don't have the time. I am so busy right now. But I told her, when she asked, I said, I'm not going to have time to make that before Christmas. And that's going to take a little bit longer. And I have orders and I need to get them done. So, because she's somebody that I crochet for that I don't charge. She's family. So, and plus, I'm trying to make a blanket for one of the baby blankets that I need to finish that is close to being done is for her oldest. And her oldest, I think, is like 3 or 4. So, and then she has another girl who is the middle child now. And I haven't even started a blanket or anything for her. So, it is my intention to make them each something from their Aunt AJ so they have it. So I know at least I'm going to have a blanket for the first one when I get it finished. I will have the car carrier cover, which I'm hoping she can use as a blanket when he's no longer using the car seat. Then the middle one, I have colors picked out for a blanket for her. Um, Tiny baby yarn, and now I wish that I would have found yarn and showed it to my goddaughter with worsted weight yarn or something so that I can make it and have it go lickety split. So it's not going to be lickety split. I'll get it when she's older. So what I do with those when I know that I'm not going to have a baby blanket done for when they're a baby is I make them bigger. And that's also why it takes me longer. I like to make for people in my family. If somebody orders a baby blanket, I make it the regular size. But for people in my family that I'm making blankets for, I like to make them bigger um, so that when they get older, even past being a toddler, they can still cover up in it and they're still going to be able to enjoy it and sit in front of the TV or get on the floor, or whatever and cover up and not have this little blanket over their, larger body. So, um, at least be able to fit, like, not make it twins. Is it twin? Not twin, but full size for a single bed, but make it like half of that size. So, yeah. Anyway, now I'm just rambling because, like I said, I didn't really have a whole lot. Um, I didn't know exactly what I was going to talk about, so I'd show you those couple things of yarn. Oh, there was one more thing I do want to show you. I need to grab it. I got a Lion Brand order. I ordered some rewind yarn. Hold on, I gotta pause it again. Okay, back. I got some rewind yarn. I got more than this. The others put away already. I got a variegated color that I think they're out of already. And then I got this lemonade color for me because I just fell in love with it. Yellow is my favorite color. You guys know that. And this is close to my favorite shade of yellow. Just maybe if it was a little bit more buttercuppy. um, the box came. I wanted to put it away right away. I've never showed pictures of the back room and where I'm trying to put my yarn at, but I have shelves, and I've talked about this before, a Jamberry nail consultant. So right now I have shelves with all of my Jamberry stuff on it, which I'm going to need to clean to get off. I cleaned off one shelf I used to get a box from Sparkle Hustle Grow every week, which is for women entrepreneurs. And I would recommend it for anybody who is an entrepreneur. And it comes with a book every month to read to help your business. And it's always a themed box every month. And it's really not that expensive, but it got to where I couldn't afford it anymore just because of our circumstances and I wasn't working anymore. But I condensed all of my boxes of those into a couple boxes, moved things down and around, and I ended up with a whole top shelf on my in my bookcase in the back that I can put yarn in. So I have done that. I have my bookshelf from my massage office that we had brought, that's a closed bookshelf because you had to put all of your sheets in a closed area. So we had gotten enclosed shelves to use. And so most of my yarn is in there because we're afraid of the cats playing with it and stuff. But I'm like, okay, and then I'm going to start from the top, maybe going down to the middle. If I get down too much lower, my cat, who doesn't climb on things, she'll be able to get to it, and I don't know what she'll do. She might leave it alone and not even recognize that it's there, like she does the yarn that's around me when I'm working. When I'm not feeling well and I'm working, I have yarn all over here. I'm not going to show you all around my sides and stuff because I have yarn all over. With Christmas coming and all the stuff that I need to get done, all of my stuff is out here. That way I know where to find it and I don't have to use up all of my energy getting into my bins because I have some bins over there that have yarn in them. My issue is that I never have the yarn that I need because I used to always buy yarn when it was on clearance, like 81 cents a skein. And then it turned out, that was all baby yarn, which was fine because all I mainly made at that point in time was baby blankets. Now I'm expanding and wanting to make other things, so I need other yarn. And all of that other yarn is what's in the back room right now. Plus a little bit out of the totes. I try to get a little bit out, and I'm trying to get it. I would like to get it all put there at some point in time. But that's going to involve getting the other shelves cleaned off, getting rid of some Jamberry stuff. So if anybody needs any nail stuff, let me know. If you know what Jamberry is, if you like the regular nail wraps and you're looking for some, let me know. I might have them. Anyway, I took these out of the box. The other three, which was one yellow and two variegated, felt perfect. I picked this up and I felt it was like so light as air, which this yarn is already so light anyway. But so I'm like, okay, that's not right. I took my scale out. I weighed the other three. They were 3.5 ounces. Perfect on the dot. Put this on there. It's 2.5. So it is missing a whole ounce of yarn. What I wanted to make out of it was the designer, the Make and Do crew, I think it is, Make and Do crew. She has a sun hat, and she has a kit with Lion Brand too, and she made it out of the Rewind yarn that I want to make. And I wanted to make it this year, but I got too involved in doing test crochet because I knew it was going to help me with my class for tech editing. So I made my tank top and the other top that I made that I've shown. But I really want to get this sun hat made because with my fair skin, I have to wear a sun hat or something when I go outside because I am a prime candidate for skin cancer. So I want to get that done this year, and I just fell in love with the hat when I saw it. I believe it needs 2 full skeins, so I'm kind of sad because I really wanted to make that yellow really, really bad. So here I tossed it over here, and I had a reason for showing it to you other than telling you that it was low. So anybody has any extra rewind yarn in the yellow, it's called Lemonade, or Make Lemonade. That's what it's called, Make Lemonade. I always look at the foreign before I look at the English. Make Lemonade. If anybody has this colorway, I need at least 1 skein because I need to make sure that I have enough to make the full hat. Unless I trim it in something else. I haven't found any other tape yarn yet that reminds me of this Rewind. So I've been kind of scared to try and go there. But anyway, if anybody has any, and if you could please get a hold of me, if you're not going to use it, if it's just sitting on your shelf and you don't know what you're going to do with it, or somebody gifted it to you and it's not really your color, let me know, and I would love to buy it from you. I may not be able to buy it right away because of how finances are right now, but I would love to get it from you in time before the spring because I want to make the hat, at least get it made in the spring so I have it for next summer. So there's that. And then the other thing I got from Lion Brand was I got 2 re-ups in bubblegum color. This ball came almost half unwound and I had to wind it back up. So I don't know what when I got my box, it's like they delivered it to somebody else because somebody had taken either scissors or something, had started to open the box and then must have realized it wasn't theirs or something and put it back out and was like, delivered the wrong address. It's the only thing I can think of because the tape was so hard. I don't see how it would have been split the way it was unless it was cut open. But the yarn in it sure did take a tumble because, like I said, this one was all screwed up. So what Lion Brand did for me, since they're out of that color, is they gave me a gift card that's good for at least 2 skeins plus. So it covered my shipping as well. So that was very nice of them. So yeah, that's what they did. My quick bread, that my timer has gone off, so I'm trying to, it doesn't smell like it's burning, so I need to be wrapping things up here. I've gone a lot longer than I had ever planned because I just planned on coming in and saying hi, giving you a quick update. I've been feeling better. Update on myself. I usually don't say that I'm feeling better until I feel that it's safe to say I'm feeling better. But I have been feeling better since they changed my HIV meds, since I started Creon, which helps me digest my food. I've been able to eat a little bit more regularly, and I have been able to get up and make dinner at least 2 to 3 times a week, which is like amazing to me. Now, this week I haven't as much because I have been crocheting to get like a fiend to get these orders done because I got behind because I was working on that pattern, which still isn't finished and I still have to work on it. But I told her I was taking a couple days off because of Thanksgiving. My husband's on vacation this week. I need a break. So she said, oh, that's fine, because she doesn't need it right away anyway. But yeah, I have been making dinner. I have been baking again. I normally can't stand long enough to be able to bake. I made homemade applesauce a couple weeks ago, and my husband liked it. And normally he's not an applesauce person, and we both agreed that he'd get more apples and I'd make another batch. I did that, and then our cat got sick, so then we didn't really eat it. Well, I had some bananas that had gone so brown, and it's like, oh, banana cake time, which is what my grandma would normally make, but my husband wanted banana bread, so he got me the ingredients that I needed when he went to the store, and I made a banana bread. Oh my goodness, it came out so good. I made it with Bisquick, and the comments underneath the recipe, some people are like, oh, it's too dry. I'll have to go back and do a regular, quick bread with flour and sugar and, stuff and not using the mix. And then other people were giving, examples of what they do and that theirs are nice and moist. And I had already told my husband, I said, I wonder what would happen if I put some of the applesauce in there. And somebody had mentioned that they put applesauce in theirs. And that's what I did. And it came out so good. It was gone within like a little over a day. He loved it. I loved it. It was so good. So, so good. And then I also have bone broth that I need to use. And it's got zero flavor in it. And it's high in protein. So I put that in my mixes, and he couldn't even tell the first time. I made brownies, and I put bone broth in there, and he had no clue. So then I put it in the quick bread, and he didn't know. So I put it in the quick bread that I'm making for tomorrow, too. So, yeah. And I made my own streusel to put on the top, and I did that for this one, too, because it just comes out so, so good. And I need to pause you because I'm starting to smell something that's not so good. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Um, yes, it's done. The toothpick came out clean, and I do apologize for all of the stops and starts tonight. I am just so, it's holiday time. That's just how I am. I'm like the dog from Up, squirrel, you know. And I just, not normally like that, but right now I just really am. That, and I had a friend from Chicago who had called me this morning and wanted to stop by, drop me off something, and maybe go have dinner. And I had to go have my mammogram, and I had to have some blood work because I see my specialist next week. And when I went to get the blood work, it took forever. I only had one person ahead of me, and it took forever to get checked in. Because there was one person being checked in, two people technically ahead of me, and the one person I guess must have had really screwed up orders. And instead of doing like they've done with me, where they asked me to go, please sit back out in the waiting room, they're going to call the doctor to get clarification. Uh, they had him stay in there, and they were trying to figure it out, and she totally forgot she had other people out in the waiting room. And then somebody came back from lunch, and she actually went somewhere else to work, and then she must have been told to come back to us. I have a sore and didn't know it. Or some of that might be, it's a combination. It's a sore. Sorry about that. That's going to bug me now. Sorry if that's bugged anybody else through the whole entire thing. We had ended up with spaghetti for dinner, so I thought maybe it was, but no, it's a sore. Um, my, I must have, it's a crack. It's not like a cold sore. It's like where your skin just cracks. And I have that really bad right now underneath my one girl here because of the mammogram today. But it was just all run around. And then I had my order to get out at the post office, and my husband was just so gracious. He took it and didn't even tell me he did while I was having my mammogram. And then he came back to pick me up. So he was in the same place as he was when he dropped me off. So I didn't even know he went and did that for me. So that was so, so sweet of him. Um, but anyway, yeah, I had that to do. So I told him, I said, I'm going to be gone for a while. And he was like, okay. And my husband and I haven't seen him in like forever. And then when we got home, I'm like, okay, I'm on my way home, and made it home. And then I heard from him, and he's like, well, I'm somewhere that, he told me where he was, which is somewhere that was like an hour away from here. And would you like to meet for dinner? And I reminded him that I couldn't drive, and I didn't know if my husband would want to go or not. And I asked my husband, and he was like, sure. And I told him, yeah, that's great. We'll meet you. And I never heard back from him again. It was just crickets. So we're worried that something happened to him, or he just, I don't know. Lots of times he's one of those people who will read what you say and not really read what you say. He'll read what he thinks you're saying and not really what you're saying. Um, so I don't know. I don't know what happened to him. So my husband and I ended up not eating till late because I was supposed to make that quick bread at like 5 o'clock. I was all set to go in and make it. And then I'm like, well, I can't put it in the oven and then meet somebody for dinner because those take an hour, to bake. So I waited and waited and waited and waited. Finally, I was like, okay, well, we're going to have dinner, and please get in touch with me as soon as you can because we're worried about you. So still haven't heard from him. So hopefully he's okay. Um, I do worry because he's had a heart attack before. So when he does something like this where it, he talks to me and then just boom stops like that, I get concerned because the one time that he completely stopped talking to me for months is when he had his heart attack and we didn't know what was going on. So his family doesn't really know me, so they don't contact me to tell me anything, even though he has told them about me. But whatever, we've been friends for quite a while. But anyway, that's a bunch of rambling. It's not quite yet, but in 50 some minutes, it's going to be tomorrow, which is Turkey Day. So, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. For those of you who celebrate Thanksgiving, have a very, very happy, happy Thanksgiving. I hope that you get to spend time with your family. I don't get to see my daughter, which is sad for me because she's sick, but I'll get over it. I'll see her for Christmas. So, but just enjoy your family. Have a great, fantastic Thanksgiving. Stay safe. And remember, you matter. For those who have nowhere to go on Thanksgiving, I've been in your shoes. If you ever need to chat or talk off of here, send me an email. I'll chat with you. I'll talk with you. So leave a comment below. Tell me what you're doing. Yeah. Leave a comment below. Tell me what you're doing for Thanksgiving. I would love to know. I'm, like I said earlier, going to my aunt and uncle's, and I get to see family that I only get to see at holiday time. So I'm going to just bask in that while I'm there because I miss them all so, so much. I kind of wish we were going to my husband's side of the family, which is what we normally do for Thanksgiving, and then my family for Christmas. But yeah, we just haven't been able to, and it's just not feasible right now with how everything is going. So I miss them so, so much, and I would love to see every single one of them. So anyway, have a very, very happy Thanksgiving. Happy holiday season, and I will be back as soon as I can be back. I was hoping maybe to be able to do Vlogmas, but I just don't see it happening. I have so, so much to do. but we'll see. We will see. Um, yeah, doing good, doing good. And I will update you on some other things, like with my pain pump and things going to be happening here in the near future. The next time I'm on, this one has been going too long already. So I'll talk to you all later. Um, I guess I've never had just a regular rambling day, and this is it. This is it for me. So hope you've enjoyed my ramblings, and know that you're beautiful, and you matter. So, and I will see all of you later. Later.